Lonnie.
News is entertainment. Power variant comes.
Welcome back to Horror Movies. In a few seconds, you're going to listen to a frightening tale narrated by me. Fear awaits you. Watch out and take care. It all begins with a billionaire, Nero Alexander, having fun as he watches a lady gruesomely murder another man after promising her a prize for it. When she's done, Nero asks her to put the man's heart on a platter and then gives her the prize money. As she leaves, Nero swipes on his phone and looks forward to a brand new fun event. In the next scene, 8 former celebrities wake up in a funhouse and wonder how they got there. Kasper remembers having been compelled by his manager to participate in a reality show willing to give $5 million to the winner. So they know one thing for sure, and that thing is that they were drugged and brought to the funhouse after they arrived in Los Angeles for the Funhouse reality show. They find it creepy actually, but go on however to get familiar with each other. Soon, they are welcomed on a screen to the funhouse and told that the show will be broadcast live to every part of the world. Also, it will be streaming without interruption every day until the last day, and the audience will be deciding who stays and who leaves by voting. The participants are introduced to the audience after the announcement. First is Ula L'Amour, an Instagram personality with over 8 million followers. Next is James Headstone Malone, a martial artist and a reality show star. Then Kat Zim, a TV series star and the female chess grandmaster in history. Another is a singer and rapper known as Dex. An actress, Lonnie Byrne. A YouTuber, Nevin Eversmith, with 10 million subscribers. Jimena Torres, a tough celeb critic. Then Nerdine Kasper, a reality show star. After that, a panda shows on the screen and calls himself Furkaz, speaking in a distorted voice to avoid recognition. He tells the participants he will be their guide throughout their stay in his house of fun. But he tips them off about the stakes, which they fail to understand at first. Furkaz announces that when the show will be over, only one of them will be left to collect the prize. That's because, every 3 days, the audience's votes will be counted and the contestant with the least votes will face a skill testing challenge, which they must pass to continue to the next round of the show. Also, he tells them that if anyone leaves at any point in time, that person will be disqualified and their $100,000 entry gift will be revoked. Furkaz further tells them they will be monitored in every room of the house at all times. Even though the cameras in the bathroom are blurred to the public viewers, the blurring feature can be removed by the contestants if they want. Suddenly, a man enters the room behind them wearing a panda mask, scaring them, but Furkaz calms them down and says they are mere helpers. Lastly, he tells them about a confession booth where they will have to speak to the viewers about anything for at least 5 minutes. In the next scene, Kasper and Lonnie are having fun at the bar when Headstone later bumps in, spoiling the mood. He stops Kasper from chasing after Lonnie and they drink together. Soon, the first 3 days are over and Furkaz shows up on the screen to congratulate them. They happily thank Furkaz and await their results as the screen loads up the vote counts. Ula wins by having turned off the blur feature in the shower. Kat goes second and Dex third. Headstone, Kasper and Jimena have a tight race, but Lonnie and Nevin lead each other only by 1%. Therefore, the two will have to undergo a challenge to know the final winner that would make it to the next round. Furkaz gives them a challenge he calls the Piñata Party. They follow the helper to the challenge room while the rest are taken to the witness room. In the witness room, they see Lonnie standing in wait for her challenge without Nevin. A piñata is lowered and Lonnie is instructed to break it and retrieve what's inside. Furkaz adds that Nevin will do the same once she's done, and the fastest between the two will be the winner. The helpers put a dark pair of goggles on her to prevent her from seeing, and then the piñata is pulled back up and replaced with Nevin, who has been tied up and gagged. But since he still groans, loud music is played to prevent Lonnie from hearing anything. After that, Lonnie is given a spiked baseball bat to hit the piñata with. How cruel. It dawns just at that time on the other contestants that things won't be getting any funnier. To add to her confusion, she's also spun around so she can't understand anything as it goes, and then she starts to hit hard to retrieve what's in the piñata. The remaining participants yell at Lonnie to stop, but the witness room is soundproof and the music is so loud that she doesn't hear a thing. Also, the majority of the viewers believe that what is being shown is not real and just a part of the show to make it creepy. Once Lonnie has beaten Nevin to death, she's instructed to take off her goggles. Fear grips her as she finds out that the piñata she was breaking up has been Nevin all along. It also turns out that Nero is the personality behind the panda. The news about the incident gets out to the public immediately, but the scenario is being tagged as untrue. When they return to the living room, Dex becomes anxious and begins to look for a way out. The others try to hold him back by telling him Furkes is watching, but he doesn't listen. He looks through a glass and sees the sky, then breaks the glass with an object just to realize that the sky is a fake. So, 3 helpers show up immediately, but this time, with guns, and force Dex to follow them by shooting him in the leg. He is later hung in a water-filled container and fluoroantimonic acid, the most corrosive substance on Earth, to dissolve the lower part of his body. After another 3 days, the contestants gather around the bar to get to know each other at least before they die. The results come out again and Kat takes the lead again while Lonnie takes the second place due to the sympathy people have for her after she unknowingly beat Nevin to death. Kasper goes third and Headstone fourth. This time, Ula and Jimena get a tie. These two have a bit of a difference already and maybe this will help them solve the issue. The helpers enter at once to take the two to the challenge room. They are each asked to fight until one of them is dead. Ula is reluctant about this whereas Jimena is enthusiastic. Then the lights go out and they are left to fight in the dark while the viewers and the rest of the contestants are given night vision to see with. Jimena nearly slashes Ula but Ula escapes. Finally, Ula discovers Jimena in front of her and gives her an axe blow to the head. When the lights come back on, she's shocked to find her dead and faints. Later on, people begin to question the authorities about why they haven't found the source of the Funhouse website even though the website is a public domain. A cybersecurity expert explains that the person behind it is using evasive measures to make the website untrackable, meaning that the show will most likely continue until someone wins. The next evening, the couple, Headstone and Ula, get drunk and when Kasper finds them, he tries to get them to bed. Headstone doesn't get up from the floor and Kasper only carries Ula to her room. Ula tries to lure Kasper to sleep with her but Kasper declines and only pecks her. When Headstone finds them together, he tries to strangle Kasper before he can explain what happened, but Lonnie rescues him. The results show up the next day. Kasper wins along with Lonnie and Headstone, then Kat. Ula loses and Furkes suggests that her full body display tactics must have become tiresome to the viewers, which is why most of them have refused to vote for her. Then she's taken to the challenge room and given a task called Forget Me Not. In this game, she has 2 minutes to match all pairs of pictures on the floor. Ula tries her best but unfortunately loses. Then she has to choose her fate by spinning a wheel full of different torture methods except one called Pass the Buck, where the person has the opportunity to pass a new challenge to the next lowest contestant and move to the next round. After spinning the wheel, she gets what Furkes calls the worst torture method ever devised, known as the rack. So, when the helpers attempt to get Ula, she desperately leaps at one of them and eliminates him. They however knock her out and go to fix her to the rack, where she's pulled apart and eliminated. Soon, 3 more days pass. Furkes announces the results and Kasper wins again. Furkes then shows he has probably won because of what recently happened between Kasper and Headstone and people are now feeling sympathy towards him. Headstone apologizes to him afterward since he didn't know. Lonnie takes second place and Kat third while Headstone loses. It's then time for his skill challenge. Furkes arranges a group of 4 fighters, asking the audience to choose who they'd like him to fight with. Botus, with 24 perfect kills and weighing 340 pounds, gets the highest vote count and Headstone goes to fight him. After a rather long fight, Headstone skillfully takes on Botus and knocks him out. But things go sideways. Furkes was only messing with him when he said he was to fight just one man. He releases the other fighters and they easily take him out. There are now 3 more contestants left needing votes to make it out. In the next 3 days, Lonnie and Kasper become in love. The results come out again, and this time as before, Kasper wins and is followed by Lonnie while Kat is left to face her skill challenge. Meanwhile, the FBI finds a signal coming from the Funhouse in Oklahoma and they make preparations to go immediately. Kat is given chess to play as her skill challenge with Furkes. But she ultimately loses and has to spin the wheel. She does and she lands on Pass the Buck, meaning that a new challenge will be passed on to Lonnie, who's the next contestant with the lowest vote count. Kasper doesn't let Lonnie do it however and demands to take her place, which Furkes agrees to. He gives him a new challenge which he calls Pistols at Dawn. Kasper doesn't believe his eyes when he sees it's Lonnie. They get the pistols and point them at each other. And, at the same time, the FBI gets to the signal location and finds out it's a decoy. Kasper and Lonnie refuse to shoot at each other and instead, they simultaneously commit suicide, to Nero's surprise and the rest of the world. So, he eventually announces Kat as the winner and gives her the prize money. The next day, Kat finds herself in a bush and is later rescued by a motorist. The FBI questions her and she tells them everything she knows. After raiding the Funhouse, there is depressingly no suspect to boast of. Kat one day watches a show hosting Nero Alexander where he speaks on entrepreneurship. It appears that Nero, as a scientist, hates celebrities so much because he feels they contribute close to nothing to society. Later on, Kat finds Nero and sneaks up on him while he plays the piano in his house. He's surprised. And then, she runs up to Nero and gives him a lip massage. Nero asks if she had fun at the Funhouse, and it turns out that she was part of the entire plan from the start. Spooked out? Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.